what's up YouTube? My name is Nick, in case you didn't know, and today we're going to review some movies. Now before I start, I know that it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. It's been a long time actually. Ran out of time at some points. A lot of my friends that were in my skits with me moved away, and also I'm just not as creative anymore, I'm sorry. But now we're going to do something even more fun. Probably not for most of you, but we're going to review movies because that's what I've been doing, is watching movies. Without further ado, I present 5 movie reviews, and we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to recommend some of them. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to start out with a movie called The King of Comedy.
And the comedy find of the year, making his television debut, Rupert Pupkin, the new King of Comedy.
Rupert! Are you crazy?
Say
What's
hello
the matter with you?
Yeah,
People are sleeping. Lower it. What's the matter with you?
Mom!
This is a movie I've recommended on social media before. I live in Utah. It's a pretty conservative place, and I recommended it because it's Scorsese and it's PG. So, I mean, you know, if you're not into rated R movies, you need to see at least one Scorsese in your life. Am I right? This is actually, to be honest, this is my favorite Scorsese. I wouldn't say it's the best. Not only is it a black comedy, one of the earliest black comedies in my opinion, the plot has been used, like, I feel like the movie Airheads, if you've seen the movie Airheads with Adam Sandler and like Steve Buscemi, that movie stole a lot from this, which is fine because I think it's a genius concept, and to be honest, like, I've definitely thought about stealing from this movie in some of my writing. It stars Jerry Lewis and Robert De Niro playing like exactly opposite what you'd think they'd play. In my opinion, it's probably like the most diverse part Robert De Niro's ever played. Same goes for Jerry Lewis, and both of them are like heroes of mine. So this is a really interesting movie. Not only are there a lot of beautiful shots, but the dialogue is incredible. I'd highly recommend this to pretty much anyone. It's not, you know, a laugh out loud comedy, but definitely it'll have you laughing, and it'll also make you feel anxious, which is like the best feeling. Because if a movie is making you anxious, then it's probably doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. My next movie is like a semi-independent movie. It's by Tom DeKio, I think is how you say his name. He also did Delirious, if you've seen that. It's called Living in Oblivion.
Like air.
Reality.
I think you could see I'm under a little pressure here.
And Oblivion.
Living in Oblivion, scene 6, take 1, let's do that!
Kiss my ass!
Yeah!
Right, now we're making a movie!
Living in Oblivion. The new film by Tom DeKio.
This is one of my favorite movies, not only because Steve Buscemi's in it, who I love, but also it says a lot about independent filmmaking and filmmaking in general and directing, and it's a joke on that. Most of what happens doesn't even count in this movie. That's gonna make no sense. It's a comedy. It deals a lot with filmmaking, and especially for people who understand the process of filmmaking as a comedy, that's like great for you. It's rated R. I can't remember for why, probably mainly language. But it's really good. Alright, so for every segment, I'm going to also review a movie that's like a classic and everyone should have seen by now. Everybody should know it by this point, but if you don't, that's okay, because I'm going to tell you about it and I'm going to review it. It's Memento!
First name John, last name G for Gamble. Drugs, license plate, SG137IU. It's him?
Alright, well, give me one. Okay. This is my favorite Christopher Nolan. It's the best Christopher Nolan. Okay. Dark Knight's great. But this beats Dark Knight. I'm going to be honest. Not only is the editing a lot better in this, and the pace is a lot better, because I feel like The Dark Knight sometimes pushes you a little too fast. And I love The Dark Knight. Don't even get me wrong. I think The Dark Knight's amazing. It's definitely the second best superhero movie ever. And we're going to get to the first. Okay, it might be the first, but it's my second favorite. But this movie right here is like a terrific psychological thriller. This is not a movie you could like invite your friends over, but like, yeah, we're watching Memento tonight, unless your friends are like gonna like not talk during it and focus, because this is not a movie you can talk during. This is not a movie you should ever have your phone out during. Like, I watched this movie the first time in a car trip on a portable DVD player, and it was like the best thing I've ever done. It is a movie you need to pay attention to. It has one of my favorite characters of all time in it. If you know the movie, Teddy is like one of my favorite characters. If you don't know the movie, Teddy, you'll learn who he is. Not only is it a pretty emotional movie, you get to like the characters, but also it's like good twists, good mystery. A lot of it's in real time, but it's not at all slow paced. It's fast paced, a lot happens, and I definitely recommend this to pretty much anyone who's willing to give the focus to really watch it, because I would never recommend it to someone who's going to be on their phone during this movie. So yeah, phones away during that movie. Next movie is probably like my favorite alien movie of anything, and that's District 9.
Why don't you just leave? How do your weapons work?
District 9, it's hard to explain. Basically, the format of it is, it starts out, it's a documentary about the scientist. It's not a real documentary. I don't want to say it's a mockumentary, but it is, in a sense. It's just not a comedy. It deals a lot with prejudice, actually, and I think it even touches on strong points in racism, the problems that coincide with being racist and segregation, in a really interesting way. And I honestly think this should have gotten Best Picture. I can't remember what it was up against. It'll be right here. And I know I saw this movie right here because I was like, yeah, that was good, but wasn't as good as District 9. I can't remember what movie it was. Might have been Hurt Locker. I can't remember. Was it Hurt Locker? It was Hurt Locker. Boom! But basically, terrific movie. Emotional movie. There's actually a pretty good twist in this movie. And I think that just the format of it alone is genius enough, and I think you should watch it. It's about aliens, but it's not your typical sci-fi movie. I think it's like more of a political statement than anything, which is so cool. So watch this movie. It's amazing. Alright, and my last one is close to my heart. Basically, I've had this conversation a lot lately, and I think this generation is completely screwed. Because my next one is the Tobey Maguire, I think it's like 2003, 2004 Spider-Man.
Who am I? You sure you want to know? If somebody told you I was just your average ordinary guy, not a care in the world, somebody lied.
This movie, I think, is probably one of the best superhero movies. In my opinion, it's my favorite, and I'm going to tell you why. Avengers is great. It's funny. I don't believe it. I could never believe that would be real. First of all, because we go how many years? Like thousands and thousands of years without any serious like world crises, and then like all of a sudden, as soon as there's superheroes existing, there's like a world crisis like every day. That's dumb. Okay? And like Avengers, if anything, should have been the finale of whatever Marvel was going for. I'm just gonna rant about Marvel for a second, okay? So there's a supervillain, William Dafoe. He's awesome. I love him. Moving on. This movie highlights what a classic superhero movie usually is, what the comics usually are, the simple comics, okay? It deals with one superhero saving at like a small scale group of people, which is like the town, from William Dafoe. If you haven't seen this, then you need to see this, and I almost don't want to give everything away. But William Dafoe's character, Green Goblin, it's a lot smaller scale, and I think that's so much more believable because as soon as there's a superhero, I mean, there's going to be stuff a superhero is going to be able to help with, but like the world ending is so drastic, especially for Avengers. That's like almost the beginning of this Marvel universe they've created now, and I think it's a mistake. I'm going to be honest. I would have loved Avengers if it was like the last thing. That whole alien thing was like the world crisis. That was like the one thing. But the fact that they're continuing it forever is ridiculous. But I am Avengers. And even though I stopped seeing Marvel movies after Age of Ultron, I heard Ant-Man's pretty good. I bought it. I haven't watched it yet. I heard Civil War's okay. I don't know. Basically, in the end, this one is probably the best. And people always give it crap. The third movie. Okay, I'm going to go back to Spider-Man. So the third movie gave this whole trilogy a lot of crap. Especially to like my generation, like people around my age are like, oh yeah, that Spider-Man sucked. Okay, but like the first two movies got really high rating. Everybody loved them. And they were a huge deal, and people saw them, made tons of money, and they're still rated high. They still have really high ratings. Higher than the Andrew Garfield movies. Did you know that? I did. And you should. These movies are rated higher than The Amazing Spider-Man. And I like The Amazing Spider-Man okay. I think Tobey Maguire did a way better job at playing Peter Parker. And I thought he did a decent job of playing Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was that charming, witty Spider-Man you see in the comics, but I think that he wasn't the Tobey Maguire that is so important to the Spider-Man story. And how could you not like this version of Uncle Ben better? So good. That's it for today. If you liked what just happened here, good on ya. I liked it too. I had fun. I'm probably going to make a second today and upload it today, but I am so glad that this is something I can do, and I want it to be something people want to hear, and I want to be giving this information to people that are going to take it, or, you know, I want your opinions, like comment. I love movie discussions. Like, I don't care who you are, like comment, and I'll be like, blah, 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 I agree, or blah, 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 yeah, you're wrong, bro. But I'm not going to say anybody's opinion's wrong because it's their opinion. Unless they say Andrew Garfield's movie is better, because it's not. The ratings on this are higher, but that's beyond the point. Thank you so much for watching. This is kind of the content that I'm going to be uploading until I leave. So basically, this is what's going to be this channel from now on. So if you don't like that, you can unsubscribe. If you do like that, then you can subscribe. If you're already subscribed, then stand firm, young lad. Thank you so much. I only have like 3 YouTube friends. Elijah, Olivia, and Tony. Elijah does movie reviews. Check him out. Olivia sings. She's awesome. I love her. I mean, I love Elijah too. And last but not least, Tony, who I also love. He is basically, I don't know what his, like, how to describe his channel. He just does stuff. It's entertaining. I'd say watch it. Love you guys. I don't know what my channel still should just be my name. I think I'm going to change it. I don't know to what. Probably like movies. A guy that watches movies sometimes. From Utah. Bye!